Welcome back to the 3x5 Live
podcast.
On this podcast, we talk about mindset, wellness, productivity, well-being. Last week, we spoke about family reviews, the weekly family review. If you hadn't tuned into that one, it could be an impact for if you have a family or if it's just you and a girlfriend or significant other, boyfriend, whatever that is.
I even talked about how helpful it'll be going into the fall, because right now we're in this little lull period, I feel like, but then fall hits and we're like hit the ground running.
Yeah.
So
got to dedicate
some time and effort to keep it flowing.
Keep the momentum going.
Mm-hmm.
And this week we're talking about the new currency. You may think I'm talking about Bitcoin.
I don't know anything about Bitcoin.
No, but we're talking about energy as a currency. And we're going to take it from two lenses. The lens of people. And then Jesse's going to kick it off from like just the inputs from a wellness standpoint.
Yeah. So this idea of energy as a currency, energy is something that I try to be super mindful of. And I think in another podcast episode on here.
Whoa, we didn't talk about my baby face.
Oh my gosh, his baby face. Well, nobody can, if people are listening, they can't see you.
Yeah.
So Bryan came out today.
If you're watching on YouTube.
If you're watching on YouTube, came out today, or I came home from dropping the kids off and I walked in, I was like, what happened to your face? I guess I haven't seen his face without some type of scruff.
10 years?
10 years?
8 years?
Which is funny because we're celebrating our 10-year anniversary today.
So our kids were complaining the other day that they've never seen me without any type of facial hair. So I decided to just randomly shave it this morning, not really considering that today, while we're recording this, it's like a stay home day. Yeah. The kids are away, not knowing how Jessie was going to take my baby face. And I don't know if she really is. I just
was taken aback. I was like, wow, I forgot that you looked like this at some point.
But it will be back in 3 days. So okay, I'm not that worried about it.
But I've been having a hard time today with it. Like every time
she can't look at me.
I can't. I'm having a hard time.
Just really
not helpful for our date day.
Yeah, not helpful for me for a date day when she can't look at me.
It's girl, not me.
All right, so
energy as currency. I think I talked about this on a past podcast, but I literally do a visualization in the morning and I picture an energy tank. And I think I said that for some reason my energy tank looks like the tanks from Monsters Inc. that collect children's screams. But that's like the visual that I have. And I think about how every day throughout my day, what are my opportunities to deposit into my energy tank? And then what is depleting my energy tank? And my goal always, when I was teaching full time or, when I'm out in the world and I know that things and activities are draining me, I am so careful about not draining my point to exhaustion so that when I walked in at the end of the day, I'd have enough energy for my kids and my family. Right. But I want you to think about those activities that are energy suckers, right? Like before you go into a big meeting, put a deposit into your currency, right? So take like 10 deep breaths so that you have a deposit of energy so that when you enter that meeting, you have energy to give, right? Because that's something that could be sucking, right? Like energy sucking. And so when you can picture conversations or activities,
like your morning routine, exercising first thing in the morning,
right? Mindfulness and meditation, yes. That's a deposit, right? Like engaging in a positive conversation, that's a deposit in, all of these practices that we put into place so that we are taking care of ourselves, our self-care, that is always going to give us energy. And so I was just, I use that a lot in my work with self-care and well-being because it's something that's tangible. And even like a self-awareness standpoint of noticing those activities that you do that do suck energy so that you can prepare and kind of counterbalance that with energy giving exercises.
Yeah. So that's from like the wellness lens of like eating the right foods and taking care of yourself, going to bed at the right time. Things like that are going to make deposits into Jessie's Monsters Inc. tank.
Yes.
But then energy as a currency, I think it's really interesting when we talk about people. And we all know those energy vampires that suck the life out of us. And that could be a family member. That could be, a person, your neighbor or people at work around the water cooler. And so it's almost like you want to envision, your tank is 100% full. And when you engage with that uncle, he's going to drain 30% at the end of that conversation, or that coworker or whoever that is just going to kind of annoy you and drain your energy. And then you have those people that when you engage with them, suddenly like you're like filled up 50% more or 10% more or 20% more. And always being mindful of the currency of energy within yourself so that you try to avoid those conversations, which is going to deplete it, and engage more in the conversations that are going to fill you up. And this is when I think it's really interesting of energy as a currency is now when you flip that. So you think about yourself. And if you're someone that can constantly be feeding and leveling up other people's energy, more opportunities are going to come to you. More social interactions that bring positive change to your life are going to happen to you, because now you're going to be known as this person that gives energy, the currency of energy. You light that other person up. You light people around you up. And
which is attractive. Like that's like
yes.
we are attracted to that type of energy. I mean, and if you think about the universe has this energy that's bouncing around for us to kind of either absorb or whatever we want to do with it. Energy is neither created nor destroyed.
Yep.
It's physics, right? So I truly believe that there is like a magnetism that happens when you're around people who are infectious with that type of energy. And then if more people want to be around you, then more opportunities and doors are going to open, because that's like a networking skill, right?
Exactly. And you can feel like energy is, I mean, we're super bullish on energy. Like if you live on the East Coast and you're thinking about like your best friend on the West Coast, and then they happen to call you that day. We've all had those experiences.
Mm-hmm.
My grandfather, just like a year and a half ago, he was about to turn 99. And he was in good health, living by himself. But I had this crazy magnetic energy to go visit him.
Mm-hmm.
And I followed that, intuition. And then he passed like 2 weeks after I visited him.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, energy is so real. And if it's something that you can just, give to other people in a positive, uplifting way, the rewards you're going to get from that is just massive. And that's why, I really believe that it's a currency.
I mean, before you like go, I mean, you used to do this, but I know like before you enter into any situation, you always do the mantra of like, bring the joy.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And I do think that that's like a skill. Like we make fun of him because when he's on the phone with like, we call it like business Bryan, like when he's on the phone with like clients or like anybody, like, and we're in the car. And so the kids and I are trying to be quiet and he's trying to be business Bryan. Like his voice is like so loud and so thunderous and so boisterous. And like that you can feel like the energy to the point where I'm like, we're making fun of him, but
chill out. And then when I'm not that way at home, she's like, come on, Bryan, bring the joy.
Yeah, bring the joy. I know. I do. It's like a
double-edged sword.
But like, I think that you're known for that. Like people, you're somebody who people come to, you're somebody who people trust you. I feel like you're the sounding board to a lot of your customers, and you're constantly like in the business of like helping relationships thrive because of your energy giving.
Yeah.
And so that's a perfect example of how you can be mindful of that. When you walk into a room, what is your currency like? Are you an energy drainer? Or are you an energy giver? And and it's okay to be both, but like if you're mindful of it and can lean more into that energy giving side of the currency, I really think that amazing things can happen for us.
Yes.
And then like I was saying, like when you can take your self-awareness and do exercises and practices that help support your own internal energy, that just gives you more currency to give outward.
Yes, exactly. Because that's the thing. It's really hard to walk into the room and just be this vibrant example of yourself if you're not taking care of yourself.
If you're not putting it into your own deposit bank. Yeah,
exactly. If you're not doing all those little things that help you show up as your best self.
They're totally interconnected.
Mm-hmm, exactly. So, I mean, I think the idea of energy currency is very interesting. And I think if we spend time thinking of it in that way, the fruits of our labor of bringing energy to other people will just compound with just opportunities abounding around you.
Mm-hmm. I love that thought.
So
cheers to bringing the energy, friends.
That's right. So that's what we got this week, guys. We hope you enjoy. Until next week, make it awesome.
Take care.